If the Chicago Bears ever choose to put out a book called 1001 Ways to Lose a Football Game, a lot of it's going to be about the 2024 season. Welcome into the Bear Report post-game reaction. I'm Steven Johnson. He's Zach Pearson. And Zach, you know, every week, this team continues to find new ways to lose football games, and it continues to get worse and worse and worse with the way that they figure these ways out.
That opening clip was obviously Matt Nagy in the locker room, and this game made me want Matt Nagy back. That's how bad things have gotten. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone.
Yes, happy Thanksgiving.
Everyone, I hope everyone enjoyed their Thanksgiving. Um, that was brutal, man. That was absolutely brutal. And I think it hurts a little more because, it was kind of like that Packers game where I thought, man, the Bears were going to get steamrolled. I even took the alternate line of plus 20, and I was feeling a little worried there at the end. I did it with a big parlay. But yeah, that was bad, man. It just felt like they were going to get steamrolled from the start. The defense is not all their fault. They couldn't get off the field, but they were also on the field a lot because the offense wasn't moving the ball. And then they play so good in the second half. And then you're like, how are they going to screw this up? And once again, the awful, awful, awful in-game situation management by Matthew Eberflus strikes again. You could blame Caleb if you want, whatever. That was incredible. That was just, the jokes just write themselves, man. They just write themselves.
They do. Again, 23-20, the Detroit Lions for the first time in franchise history moving to 11-1 with the win today over Chicago. And truly a tale of, I don't even want to say two halves, because it was more like three separate parts to a story. And I know that there's such a popular meme out there that continuously gets used by certain areas of Bears fandom with the roller coaster of emotions. We're back. We suck. I want to die. We're so back. We're going to win. And then crash. And it just wrote itself up so well. Based on just the way everything went. You talk about at the beginning of this game, and you talk about the first half in general. The first possession by the Lions, the Bears allow 3 third down conversions. They follow that up with a 3 and out to start the game.
Yep.
Matt Eberflus then follows that up with a horrific challenge. Who is talking to this guy, telling him that Jameson Williams completed the catch over the middle when it was clear as day there was no third step and there was no football move to warrant stopping the play?
Dude, he's 0 for 5 on challenges this year. He's had 10 challenges now. 2 have been overturned. He's won 2 challenges. Somehow, he has a better record in games or something like that than he does in I don't know, something crazy like that in challenges. Any stat you could have thought of, Kevin Fishbane's really good at finding the doom stats. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to not look away. I'm sharing this because I want Bears fans to hear what we have to say. So I'm kind of just sharing this on Facebook. But Kevin Fishbane does a good job with the doom stacks. I find them all the time. Any stat you could think of, it's at an all-time low, man. It is just really bad. He's going to go down as the worst coach in franchise history. Imagine saying that after Mark Trestman.
And beyond that, there are certain points to the past 4 coaches of the Chicago Bears now where you can point to a specific point in time and say, it can't get worse, can it? I think we just need to stop saying those things because clearly, it's a problem because
I
you talk about the challenges. I mean, the first quarter alone, they allowed 85 rush yards, 145 total yards.
yeah.
I mean, the Bears are running around with what 22 total yards, I think, is what they were able to muster up. And then it was 9-0 on first downs, 4 of which came on third down. It's just there's just the incompetence levels are insane. And the fact that the first down for the Chicago Bears today came with 35 seconds left in the half. In the half.
They had two. I'm trying to find. Yeah, two in the first half. I think one was by penalty.
Yeah,
I think they're the first team since 2000 to have 2 or fewer first downs in an NFL game. And you said like every week, like, you know, how much more, I mean, what else could happen or whatever. I think it should be the opposite. Like what is going to happen? Like what is going to happen? Because I'm just at the point where it's like every time I think they figure this out and every time, you know, and honestly, it's really not the players. It's the coaching staff. It is the coaching staff. It is, I don't know, man. They are a couple plays away from being 8-4. And I know you can kind of say that about a lot of teams in the league. Like a lot of teams can kind of say that. But like that's just kind of spitballing. They're legit probably a couple plays away from being 8-4. And
they are.
Like it's crazy, man. It is absolutely crazy. And I feel bad. I feel so bad for these players. I said, dude, I feel bad. I have to be professional. I have to cover this team. You know me. We've grown up. I'm a Bears fan. You're a Bears fan.
We're losing that blurred line between professionalism and fandom at this point because they're just that bad.
And it
makes you wonder what did you do to convince human beings that you were good enough to do this job?
And then also, you can say the same thing about Shane Waldron. So now it makes sense. Now it makes sense. Now we know why Shane Waldron convinced them that he could do this job because just what you said. They're the same people. How did they convince? I mean, I know the answer how they convinced McCaskey, everyone. I get, like, I understand Ryan Poles deserves blame, but I don't know, man. Like this is absolutely crazy. Like, and we're not the only one. Like, look at the beat reporters, man. Look at the tweets after the game from the beat reporters. I
have never retweeted so many things in my life following this game. And it's not just from the beat reporters. We're talking national news outlets. Fox had a field day before the Cowboys-Giants game talking about just how poorly managed the end of that game was and how much of an embarrassment it was for Matt Eberflus as a head coach in the NFL. I mean, that in itself, where you are literally the laughingstock because you are literally the only thing happening at that point in time that everybody gets to see on the grandest stage of them all, what you're doing. And the fact that, again, a team wills itself back 16-0, holds the Lions to a touchdown. The only reason it happened is because of a ghost horse collar that didn't happen.
Best team in the NFL. And granted, here's the thing, though. The Lions gave the Bears every single This is the worst the Lions have played in weeks. This is and the Bears could not take advantage. And I think the Lions would even say that too. I have not listened to Dan Campbell, what he said, or any of the players. I think this would be this. I think they probably said that this is the worst they played, or this is unacceptable. And they gave the fumble in the first half. Like you said, the offense in the second half was not very good. And then obviously the quote unquote horse collar, they gave the Bears every opportunity. The Bears started that final drive at their own 1-yard line, and the Lions extended it a couple times. The Bears are like, you know what? You gave us some yards. We're going to give it right back here. We're going to call a a quarterback RPO draw on second down with a game on the line. Larry Borum's watching a guy go by him. And that's a whole nother story. But you're right, dude. The national media, I don't know if anyone was watching this or if you caught it. Right after the game, CBS, they roasted the Bears right after
Good.
All of them roasted.
Good.
Jimmy Johnson on Fox roasted the Bears. And everyone on social media, literally every talking head on social media, players, analysts, coaches, fans, roasted the Bears. The Packers and Dolphins are about to go to halftime. Unfortunately, Green Bay is winning. The Packers and Dolphins are about to go to halftime. I guarantee you they talk about it again because they did talk about it on the pregame show. I guarantee you they talk about it again.
The Dolphins are playing pretty bad.
The Dolphins are playing awful. And I mean, dude, I had beat reporters from other teams DMing me saying, what the hell is going on? It is, dude, it has to happen, though. They need to be the laughing stock. They absolutely need to be. This is national television. Again, not only the standalone game, but every game today is a standalone. Every pregame show, every postgame show, every halftime show. It's going to be all over NFL Network tonight. It's going to be all over ESPN tonight. This is going to be talked about when they're doing their Monday night recap. They're going to talk about it. I mean, it's embarrassing. It is absolutely embarrassing. That's what you get, man, when you don't make the right decisions, and that's what happens when a franchise like the Bears continue to shoot themselves in the foot.
Yeah, the more you just kind of run down the stats of how today went, and I mean, I will give Caleb all the credit in the world for willing what he did in the second half to bring that team back. I mean, in all honesty, like his stat line, he finished respectable. Again, 20 of 39, obviously floating around a 50% completion percentage, not exactly what you want to see, but still 256. Some drops. But 256 yards, 3 touchdowns. Again, he willed the team back because the running game wasn't doing anything for him. I mean, DeAndre Swift, another game where 11 carries for 39 yards, not much going there. So it truly became a game where if Caleb cannot get things going, it's going to look ugly. And he managed to get it figured out. And there was the interview at halftime with Matt Eberflus before they went to the locker room. And I'm sitting here watching him, and obviously we didn't know what was going to come of the second half yet. But he said, things are going to pop in the second half. I'm like, what? Your head? Like what is popping? There's nothing popping right now that makes you think that this is going to get any better. And for him to hang his hat on, if he is. And he kind of hinted at it at points in the postgame presser. We came back, we stayed resilient, we did this, we did that. Yet you have veteran leadership on your team coming out and saying things like what Keenan Allen said. I think we, as players, did enough to win. You cannot say something any more clear to the fact the players hate you. They hate you.
Let me tell you this. After the Washington game, after the Arizona game, when they lost to New England, man, in that locker room, it felt like an absolute funeral. It felt like they were just wiped. It was bad. It was just bad juju. After the Packers game, same feeling, man. It just felt like funeral, like they just had to bury someone else for the second straight week. After the Vikings game, I was in the Vikings locker room before I heard it was a very quiet locker room. It wasn't that funeral type feeling. And I think that tells you the players know, what more can these players do? They could catch a few more passes. They could make a couple tackles. The Bears are been in Washington. They're in a chance to win that game. Green Bay, chance to win that game. Vikings, chance to win that game. Lions, chance to win this. 4 games. They beat Washington. I think they absolutely smoke the Patriots. I don't know if they'll beat the Cardinals. That just kind of looked a little bad, but I think that Commanders game just totally deflated them. But like seeing and hearing what the players are saying after the game now, Kyler Gordon, no comment on a question. Who else was it? Cairo Santos was saying he thought he was going to get a shot to kick it. I think it was DJ Moore said something about, or Kyler Gordon did say, like, I thought we were going to set up for at least a field goal. Man, that's not good when your players are saying stuff like that, and you are giving generic dumb answers yourself as a head coach, and then Adam Johns saying that Kevin Warren's lingering around the locker room a little bit more. Dude, even as we've started, I mean, so Adam Johns wrote that piece on the Bears and Kevin Warren kind of lingering. Dan Wieder has written a piece, just put out a piece with Chicago Tribune. That's let's see if I get the title, but he pretty much said in his tweet that, you know, it's over. It can't, what did he say? It's over. The Eberflus experiment can't continue. He wrote a column. I haven't read it yet.
He was very, very clear in all of his tweets throughout the day.
He should.
Yeah.
Jason Leisure fired questions off at him. Patrick, good job for everyone there holding Matt Eberflus accountable. The act's getting old. Just answer the damn question. Answer the damn question. Like, it's getting old, man. And like everyone's like the media. Well, why don't you guys ask this? Why don't you guys ask that? It's been asked. It's like talking to you have kids. I have a kid. It's like talking to a toddler at times, man. It's just, what's up yours? And he doubles down on this. Do you remember was it last year when they went 2-2? And he's like, yeah, in our last 4 games we're 2-2. Yeah, but you've just blown all these. It's great. I mean, what do you want to start? You want to start with the Eberflus post game?
Yeah, let's do that. So, we haven't even gotten into the conversation about the final 35 seconds.
Oh, you want to do that first?
Let's talk about that a little bit and set the stage here, because I think there were a couple things prior to the meltdown occurring that kind of set up things for being the cluster that they were, that clearly has everybody, ruining Thanksgiving, or I guess he ruined Thanksgiving, whatever you want to call it. But the timeout, the second timeout that was called, the play clock ticking down, it's on that same drive. Caleb hikes the ball with 1 second to go, but the refs blow it dead because Matt Eberflus called a timeout.
Yes.
And I loved the fact that they showed the close-up on Caleb immediately following that timeout call, because he's looking over at the sideline like, I had it. What are we doing? What is going on? Why would you do that?
Last week he had to convince, was it last week or the week before again? Well, they went for a 4th down. Remember that? Was it the Packers game? He had to convince Matt Eberflus to go for it on 4th down.
Yeah. And so you're sitting there now with just one timeout, the clock ticking down. You end up taking the sack. Not a good sack. Not a good sack at all.
No.
Takes them out of field goal range. The whole thing, and there was the talk, well, they had a penalty and we had a penalty and the drive got extended, and that's part of the game. And there's other plays that we could probably go back to today. When we talked about the horse collar a little bit, we didn't even talk about the DeAndre Swift potential pass interference on Rodriguez with the Lions, where Rodriguez doesn't even turn towards the ball and he makes contact with Swift before it gets there, but it doesn't get called. That was on a 4th down opportunity for the Bears as well. And so we're sitting here on multiple things, and the penalties are part of the game. That's what it is. That's what it's going to be.
They overcame the matter.
Exactly. They did. And great that they did. But here we are. Caleb Williams, 35 seconds left, takes a sack. They get one more play off, which we all know, the Rome Odunze. I don't want to say Rome looked like he gave up on the ball a little bit, but it sure looks like he gave up on the ball a little bit, even though he was getting thrown into double coverage on that.
Yeah,
I give kudos, and we'll hear from Caleb Williams and what he had to say following the game here momentarily. But I give him kudos for recognizing the situation because he's a rookie quarterback. I don't think he's in a position to make that call right now, whether or not to take that final timeout, knowing that the seconds are ticking off and that 25 seconds did come off the clock between that sack and the ball getting snapped. But I'm at a loss for words. I truly am at a loss for words that occurred. And it's not the first time we've seen the Bears do that, where they just spend so much time and think it's okay.
Yeah. That was a disaster. I mean, the penalty on Tevin to wipe it away, that was brutal because they had they were going to have first and goal or first and 10 at the 13.
It was going to be right there.
Wiped it away. Then they called the draw. That a little no chance on that play. And then, they're sitting there and I'm thinking about it, I'm like 32 seconds, like, all right, call the timeout, whatever. So here's what I'm at with that. Caleb, you got to have some more urgency. I get that. The offensive line's telling everyone to go. The wide receiver's trying to get back. Caleb should have urgency. I'm not blaming him, though. Here's what I would have done. Right after that sack, you have a rookie quarterback. You take the timeout. There's 30 seconds left. You have a chance, and Flus said, well, he said it. They wanted to run a play inside so they could get up, call a timeout, kick a field goal. 30 seconds. As long as Caleb Williams does not take a sack, okay, on the next play, you have enough time to either get the ball out of bounds over the middle of the field, first down, spike it, fourth down, whatever, you can get to field goal unit out. The fire drill takes what? 13 to 14 seconds. Play usually takes, if you complete it, 10 seconds, 7 seconds, anywhere in between. Then the second part of it is, why is Matt Eberflus not calling the timeout when that gets down to 15, 14, 13? I saw some people on Twitter, they could run the play, just snap the ball. Look at the play, 12 seconds left. Look what Cole Kmet and DJ Moore are doing. Both of them are looking at each other, talking like this, trying to figure out what's going on. The play was not in correctly, couldn't get it through to everyone. At that point, okay, there you go, Flus. There's another timeout. Runs down to 6 seconds. At least get a timeout. I mean, what's he looking at? Is he looking at the turkey that's going to get ready to get served for the winning? What are you looking at? I mean,
he's going to get the Lions turkey leg because he just handed it to him.
Exactly. I mean, is he looking for Dan Campbell to shake his hand already? Like, dude, what are you doing? Just made no sense. I mean, the sack was bad. Obviously, it's something Caleb has to work on, but like that one, he had no chance.
No.
The penalties were bad. Cole Kmet had a really bad game. Still, you were right in there till the end to win the game. And I mean, I play the Flus because this is incredible to me.
Here's Matt Eberflus following the game, talking about that final play.
So with that, I'll take questions.
At the end, when you saw the clock tick down under 10, why didn't you call timeout?
Yeah, so right there, we liked the play that we had, and we were hoping that he was going to call it or get the ball snapped, and then we would have called timeout right there. But once it's under 7 there, then you call timeout there, then you're basically throwing the ball to the end zone because once it's under 12, you can't throw it inside with no timeout. And it was third going into fourth, so that's a big deal. So it was third going into fourth. That's why we wanted to preserve the timeout.
So in retrospect, how should you have handled the final sequence?
Yeah, I like what we did there. Again, once it's under 7, you're gonna call timeout there, or actually under 12, and then really you don't have an option. Because it's third to fourth, you got to throw it into the end zone then. So to me, it's I think we handled it the right way. I do believe that you just re-rack the play, get it in bounce, and call timeout, and that's why we held it and didn't work out the way we wanted it to.
He liked what they had there. They had a special play that they only could run.
We ran what we needed to run. We were okay with the way things went.
That's insanity, man.
Like seriously, who says that and says we're okay with how that ended? I have never seen somebody so calm. And not only that, but we're going to go back to the first comments that he had. When he says, well, it's third down going in, fourth down, and we got to hold timeout. No, screw the timeouts, screw the downs.
Insane.
Play to get into position to tie or win the game. Whether it's picking up a first down, whether it's getting the play calling correctly, or doing whatever the hell you've had the opportunity to do since training camp back in July to figure this out and get it done the right way. And they didn't. They just didn't.
That's the thing. They practice this stuff all the time in training. Like, I've seen it with my own two eyes. They practice situations like this. And he freezes up, man. He absolutely freezes up. Like, why do the yards against Washington don't matter? The sideline doesn't matter to him. But now all of a sudden the sideline, he's talking about the middle. Like, he said they had a play they really loved. Call a timeout, run the damn play. What are you doing? Throwing the ball 30 yards down the field to set up at the 2? No. You're obviously you're playing for the field goal. Like, that's crazy to me, man. Like I said, Caleb missed DJ on that one play across the middle. I get it.
Yeah.
Whatever. That is just inexcusable coaching. Like, if you can put on the rookie, when you're the head coach, his third year doing the same stuff, man. That's crazy. That's crazy.
So before we get to Caleb's explanation of what occurred for that final play, because it truly is eye-opening seeing what Flus had to say and then what Caleb said, and we've all come to know, Caleb has very much been a very candid player when in front of the microphone, and he's not afraid to tell it like it is. No. He truly isn't. There have been 221 coaches who have had 20-plus career games decided by 7 points or fewer. Matt Eberflus's 227 win percentage in those games, 5-17, ranks dead last, 221st.
God.
With his 5, which is also the least number of single score losses or wins, whatever you want. I don't even know anymore. Their first red zone opportunity was with a minute left in the third quarter today. I have so much anger built in about all of this.
But here's the thing, man. They're not, I know momentum's kind of growing. If anyone's following Twitter, momentum's kind of growing. Like, a lot of people are saying stuff. A lot of people are suggesting now is the right time to fire him.
It's a long week. Why not?
It's a long week. Yeah, I agree. They're really going to do it. I'd be absolutely shocked if they did it. And that might be a good thing. They might do it. But what? We're used to this, man. They just don't fire coaches this season. This is an embarrassment. This is an absolute embarrassment. It's an embarrassment, man.
Let's play Caleb's clip. This one's a little bit longer, but it's good to see how he walks through things, specifically to the play call that led to targeting Adunze in the final play.
How you doing? Sweet.
What was the decision between you and Matt of the communication to not take a timeout after you had about 32 seconds left in the game?
I'm on the field. I got a call, and I know I took a timeout earlier in that. Was it same drive? Same drive. I knew I took a timeout earlier, and so, I can take timeouts, but in that situation we had a call. I got the call in, and trying to get the guys back. So focused on make sure everybody gets back, gets lined up. I know we don't have much time left, and so trying to get everybody back. We don't really have. I don't have a microphone to speak to coach or anything like that, so there wasn't any huge communication. In that situation, you get a call with that time. You gotta try and get the guys back, get everybody lined up so you go run a play. And excuse me. We got lined up, got the play, and then I made an adjustment because I saw the clock running down, knowing that if we complete a ball in inbounds or anything like that, we won't have time to kick a field goal or anything like that. So, I made an adjustment, and knew Rome was either going to be one-on-one or he was going to, beat the safety and be one-on-one there, and tried to give him a shot, and we got the shot and missed.
No communication. No communication. That's all I hear. No communication.
Last week, man, against the Vikings, they had the field goal unit run out on the 4th down because there was no communication.
Yep. I mean, it trickles down from the same tree every single time. And that tree's name is Matt Eberflus. And the fact that we continue to have these conversations about faults related to last-minute decisions, and the person leading your team continues to falter and not have the mental capacity to make the correct calls in those high-pressure situations. I mean, okay, great. Caleb figured it out today. He got back on track in the second half. He almost willed the team back again, but almost doesn't win you football games in the NFL. It never does.
Gets you
never
fired.
will. You need to have a team, a coaching staff you can rely on as a quarterback to get the job done. It's a team sport, whether you're on the field or on the sideline. And the fact of the matter is, the Bears are missing the sideline right now. And they've been missing the sideline for 3 years. And here we are, regardless of how the next 4 or 5 weeks work out, we're staring down still an even worse losing streak than 2 years ago when it was 10 straight to finish the year.
And they were tanking then.
Exactly. I mean, they're trying to win games. They can't
They should be winning games.
Exactly. Because their coach sucks. He sucks. Plain and simple.
Steven really doesn't get this mad. This is really working him up.
I ruined the vibe at Thanksgiving today, and I don't even care. I was so livid. I'm screaming at the TV. What are you doing? And I'm like, is this real life? Is this real life?
Oh, it's life of a Bears fan, man. It's pain. It's like I said, I think I told you this 2 weeks ago. Every time they step on the field, they're in a disadvantage because of one man. They're at a disadvantage. That guy's Matt Eberflus. The Bears are the new Detroit Lions, the NFL, man. The Jets fired a coach. The Saints fired a coach. Any other organization would say, all right, the second they land at wherever, O'Hare, the private air, wherever they land tonight, they probably already landed, to be honest. They should cancel his key card. Get your stuff. We'll let you in. Get your stuff. You're out. Any other franchise would do it. You think Green Bay would put up with this?
No.
Hell no. Hell no. No other franchise would put up with this. It's because you want to save some money, man. It's bad. It's bad.
It's not just that, but I mean, it's like you mentioned, like they're probably back in Chicago by now. We all know how much O'Hare sucks and how much you have to taxi. Just taxi, throw them off the plane in the taxi area, and pull up to the terminal. I don't care. Whatever you have to do, whether you have to disable his key card and you got to make sure he can't even get into the building tomorrow, whatever. But the fact that it just continues to be allowed, you're setting your own standard of like not even mediocrity, like just bad.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, dude. They're going to talk about it. I guarantee you, Kevin Warren, I guarantee you, Ryan Poles, and I guarantee you, George McCaskill will have a conversation, whether it's tonight, tomorrow. At the very least, you have to have a conversation. You absolutely have to have a conversation.
And I know we've had these conversations that the Bears, they don't believe in doing those things, and adding it to a holiday. I'm sure there's that whole, well, we can't do that on Thanksgiving. And
yeah,
like just they're soft. They're soft.
Yeah.
And it just, you gotta rip the Band-Aid off. And they refuse to do it.
It cannot go on for what, 5 more weeks? It cannot go on. It is, dude, they're at number 9 in the draft right now. That is they're probably not going to win a game the rest of the year.
How is it only 9? That's what I want to know.
It's just, what, 8 teams, 6 teams that have 3 wins. I mean, they're going to have a conversation. They have to. I can't imagine, as bad as as much as we like to rip them. I think Kevin Warren, Ryan Poles have to step in and tell George, look, he's got 2 more years on this deal after this. If that's true, we can't work with this guy. It's got to go, man. And I don't advocate for firing anyone unless they're a bad person. But at the same time, like, what are we doing here? Like, what? I mean, this is insanity, man. This is absolute insanity. And today was a perfect example. I thought they were going to get blown out, and they let a win slip out of their hands, or a potential overtime game slip out of their hands. Teams are laughing, dude. The whole Twitter timeline just laughing at the Bears.
Yeah,
like
there's nothing good to say about what occurred in the style in which it did occur, which sucks because again, we should be sitting here talking about how. And again, he had some very interceptable throws today. But Caleb Williams setting the NFL rookie record for most interceptions or most pass attempts without an interception. Being able to do that again, finishing where he did on his stat line today at 256 yards and 3 touchdowns. He continues to be a guy who is very careful with the ball. He's not turning the ball over. He's making plays that a normal NFL rookie does not. Meanwhile, he's facing league worst protection. He's been sacked 47 times this year. That is the most in the NFL, and it is not rattling him. That in itself, we have seen rookie after rookie after rookie. David Carr is the one that always sticks out in my mind with the Texans, where he was obliterated. I mean, we still have 5 weeks to go. Who knows where this number is going to be at? But the fact of the matter is, again, he's getting the job done, understanding that, things aren't sunshine and rainbows right now, but he is literally what is keeping this team afloat and giving them an opportunity to just be competitive. And we're seeing, and it's sad because on the opposite end of the field today, we saw what happens when you invest in the trenches on offense, on defense, like the Lions have done. The Lions' offensive line was shoving around the defensive line for the Bears all day today. There's a reason why they ran the ball so well today. They had 194 rushing yards. Coming into this game, the Bears were allowing 129. So think about that. I mean, just 70 plus more yards on the ground to the Lions. And you can say Gibbs and Montgomery are a great duo, but you still shouldn't be doing that. And you're watching guys who were on your roster, mind you, in Al-Qadim Muhammad that are destroying your tackles.
Yeah.
This is a dude you cut.
Yep.
And he's making you look like fools.
And it's a shame, too, because, like, Darnell Wright, I thought was playing well the last couple of weeks. Then he gets hurt today. Braxton Jones, I thought was playing well. He just gets like you said,
he got demolished.
Oh, my goodness. He's back to square one now. I mean, that was just a total step back. Colbert Shelton's probably been their, best offensive lineman this whole year outside of the first game. I mean, he's not playing at a Pro Bowl level, but he was at least serviceable. When Tevin's in there and he's healthy, he can play well, but he's getting hurt. Man, the Lions, that's how you build it, man. They didn't even have Aiden Hutchinson today, too. No. That's how you build it, man. You build in the trenches. But you got to get the right guy, head coach, too.
I mean, I give him credit. Go out and get Zadarius Smith. He had a hell of a game today, a sack and a half for the Lions. Being able to work that edge for them. It just, I have never seen such polar opposites about how teams are built and just how blatantly wrong one team is in their philosophy. That is the Bears.
Yep.
Of doing things. And I can almost guarantee it. And you mentioned, like, this was probably the worst game the Lions have played in a month, 2 months. But the fact that I'm sure Campbell went into that locker room and said that wasn't good enough. I'd have to imagine that was part of the speech, is just that whole second half. You think they're happy about how that game ended? You think the Bears aren't happy. Lions aren't happy either, and they're coming away with the win.
Yeah.
There's nothing positive to say at all.
Oh man, it's frustrating. Like I said, I don't, I feel bad for fans. I feel bad for Caleb Williams. We'd be talking about a guy who is putting himself back in the Rookie of the Year conversation. He's still got ways to go, I think, to catch, Daniels and probably Bo Nix now at this rate.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, what's he do? He's been fantastic. 5 touchdowns in the 3 games against the NFC North, no interceptions, no fumbles. All 3 of them, one score, lost by what? 1, 3, and 3? 2, 3, 3, whatever it was.
Yeah.
1, 3, 3. He's playing well. He's got, some things to work on, but look at that. We have literally Lions fans saying Caleb Williams is special and has a bright future ahead in this league. And Bears have a better QB. I don't know if he's a Lions fan or not. Lions fan, full disclosure, are the Bears this is a new version of the old? I think so. Right now, they could turn it around, but I don't know, man. Give me Ben Johnson. I know Ben Johnson struggled in that second half. Man, those play calls, that 1 touchdown play call he had, the play call, the touchdown play call was incredible. The fake, the play call,
second touchdown.
Yeah, the play call to St. Brown in the first quarter, that little move he put on to get him wide open. That give me Ben Johnson. I don't know, man. Thank you to everyone for actually watching and listening to 2 guys just rumble off, because you guys, this Thanksgiving.
I have no booze in this booth.
No, I don't either. I got some Buffalo Trace I found up. I'm gonna probably make some eggnog with some bourbon in it.
There you go.
Tomorrow's press conference is virtual. That's that's 9 a.m. So we'll know. I don't know. We'll know, man.
If it's virtual, does that say anything?
It's virtual after every road game.
Okay.
Because it's to allow the media time to get back, because, there's no flights out of Detroit tonight. I got 1 flight, and it was at 3 or 4 p.m.
That's a 4-hour drive.
Yeah, it's a 4-hour drive. But they honestly usually do it when, because if you can't, when they're in Washington, if you can't catch a flight till the next day, you're not getting in. I just, and it sucks because I don't hate the Lions. The Lions have been,
they're a fun team to watch.
Yes, they are. And I gave crap to Dan Campbell when he was hired. This guy's an idiot. He's going to bite kneecaps. I'd take that guy as my head coach in a heartbeat. And I don't hate the Lions. They deserve the credit because they are a good football team. I'm just totally blanked. Dan Campbell he recognized what his quarterback needed, and Ben Johnson's been perfect. I believe Campbell fired a bunch of coaches, fired their defensive backs coach. They got the best safety duo in the league, and he recognizes it and he fixes it. Meanwhile, the Bears have a field goal blocked, and then the same side, they get a field goal blocked as well. You know what I mean? It's they don't fix things.
No.
And honestly, if I had my choice of a team to win the division, it'd probably be the Lions over the Packers. Or, but still, I mean, it's just frustrating because it's like and Aaron said this on our podcast earlier in the week. The Bears and Lions a couple of years ago when they met, they were in very similar situations. I want to say it was 2021 when Matt Nagy was there. I believe it was the first year under Dan Campbell or second year. I'm sorry, I don't have all the stuff in front of me, but I believe that was the year, right? 2022 was the year that the Lions went into Green Bay at the end of the season.
Yep.
Completely turned it around. They beat Green Bay, and it was a close game. They beat Green Bay.
Keeping the Packers out of the playoffs. Yep.
Last year, the Bears had the same exact chance. Build on something. What'd they do? Scored, 9 points, 3 field goals. Yeah, man. It's so best of luck to the Lions the rest of the year, except for when they play the Bears, obviously. But they got it right. They're a fun team. That city deserves it. Their fans deserve it. It sucks, man. Like the Bears have not. They're in a bad position. But hey, it does sound like there's momentum. Maybe something happens tomorrow. I don't know. Why not on Black Friday? I mean, Black Monday. Why not on Black Friday?
That's what I said. I'm like, it's right there. It's already branded for you. It's just a different day of the week. Just let it happen.
The NFL has a terrible Black Friday game tomorrow. Terrible. Just dump it. Dump the news right there. Give everyone a headline. You know what I mean? I don't want to. Then I won't have to go shopping, so I can.
I can work.
Yeah, I can work. My wife's probably watching and listening to this, but. No, it's bad, man. Yeah, see, they fired Matt Patricia here a day after Thanksgiving. Any normal franchise, man, we'd hear about it by now, but it's
it's man, I am trying to maintain as good of composure as I can and hoping that this franchise finds some sort of common sense to understanding where they're at, especially now with the way that the rest of the league and the country is viewing them. Oh man, they have squandered so many opportunities this year that have just been all a part of this buildup to what we think is the new bad bar, and can it get any worse? And it just keeps going up. It makes you wonder just how much more room there is. Sky's the limit, apparently, because I don't even know what they could do next week to top this. I truly don't.
No. And like I said, I mean, we got to give credit to the Lions. All these comments in here from Lions fans. I have nothing against you guys. Nothing. I think we can agree. Like the Lions gave their bet. The Lions tried to give this game to the Bears. The Bears, Matt Eberflus just froze up and just like, no, we don't want it. Here you go. The Caleb Williams is carrying Matt Eberflus on his back, trying to win this game for them. And like we said earlier, I don't know if people in here heard us, but I guarantee you, Dan Campbell's not happy with how the Lions play that second half.
Yeah,
not at all. So hopefully, Steven, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. that was no. That's I'm not even gonna entertain that one. Nope.
No.
So I tell you what, San Francisco never been a great place for the Bears. It has always been a house of horrors. That's the next stop on this train to hell that we as the Bears fans have found ourselves on.
Yeah. This will be the get right game for Brock Purdy and Debo and Christian McCaffrey, and this will be the get right game because they've looked bad. I mean, they've Purdy didn't play against the Packers, but they've looked.
That entire team looked like garbage. I mean, McCaffrey is not who he was a year ago. That Achilles injury is clearly a lot more severe than I think the team has let on, which, I mean, they didn't even really say that he was going to miss time at the beginning of the year, but here we are. But then you have a lot of other, strong players that maybe aren't getting the superstar credibility that have stepped up, like Jawan Jennings, that the Bears are going to have their hands full with down the field. And, we'll see if Jaquan Brisker maybe finally makes a return. I don't know what the heck's going on there, but yeah, it's a lot of questions, not a lot of answers, but hey, maybe we'll get the answer to something by tomorrow morning. One can only hope.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, if anything, still listen to that press conference because it's going to be incredible hearing him double down on what he said today.
Yeah, it's a lot of pain, but you know what? We continue soldiering on and watching this again train wreck of a season. So we do appreciate everybody hanging out with us on this Thanksgiving Thursday, and just helping us work through every struggle on the face of the earth that the Bears put upon us on this lovely holiday. But hopefully you all enjoyed the holiday with family and food and something better than what happened between 11 and 2:30 this morning.
Yeah. Well, we'll be back next week though. I mean, hopefully we get something fun to talk about again that leads to a Bears win, but what can we say?
Yep. What will we be talking about breaking the streak? Or are we talking 7 straight?
Yeah, probably
losses?
7, man. Probably 7. Steven, where can everyone follow you at and all that good stuff, man?
Yep, you can find me on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, Steven with BH_Roto.
And you can follow the Bear Report on Twitter at just Bear Report. You can follow me on Twitter at Zack, ZACK_Pearson. Please rate, review, subscribe on all major podcasting platforms. Again, happy Thanksgiving. Till next time, please stay safe. Please stay healthy.
Take care.